and we are
going. How was your UFC 300?
All right.
What was the best fight of the night?
Everybody knows Gaethje and Max. They suggested even before that should be a main event, but of course it was 2 title fights, so you can't do that. But it's over-deliver, and that's a fight of the century. But as I told you, I was texting you before. So look at that. Friday was Power Slap, right? So
Did you go? Yeah.
Yeah, I went there. Dana was there with Hunter and everything. Then Friday night I went for some meeting at Red Rock, and there is Dana coming. So he, I guess, had some winners of whatever UFC thing that gamble with Dana. So he had 2 kids, gamble with him. So I saw him there, like, okay, that means we're not training tomorrow. So what do you mean we're going to train? So that was like, almost midnight, and he stayed up until 4:30 in the morning, and he still came at 11 o'clock in the morning, right, to train. And as you can imagine, I texted that. It was in honor of 300. I said, okay, let's do 300 sets, giant sets. He did 2. That's a badass that he is, right? And then he did his superhuman protocol and everything. So for people that think, he's just, billionaire and is doing nothing, he's doing everything on earth to be in this kind of shape. And he wants to improve and be in the best shape of his life. Imagine.
So when you told him he had to do 2 giant sets, what did he say?
Hit me with your best shot.
Did you say this is Sparta?
I don't understand. So you want him to do 300 sets?
300 reps. Giant set.
Okay.
So 30.
That's torturous.
30 exercises, 10 reps each. But I did antagonistic body parts: chest, back, shoulders, bicep, triceps, right? So he can hang. And then we did a second one.
What'd you do? What body parts?
Everything, upper body.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't do legs.
Like back, arms, shoulders, chest.
Yeah. I set it up perfectly. I mean, that gym is the most wonderful gym on earth.
I thought the layout's way better than the old one.
Yeah.
They put it together pretty well. Is there any new stuff since I've been there?
No.
The gym?
No. There's no space.
No, there's space. You could still add some stuff in there.
We actually had like 8 pieces in the storage because there was no space.
When he's better, I'll go and train there again with you guys.
Yeah, all right. Maybe tomorrow.
Not leg day, because that was a weak leg day when we did it.
Was it?
That was a joke.
We didn't.
Because you didn't go on the ball of the foot you were doing, like with the whole foot. You didn't go slow. You didn't go deep. I mean, come on, Jay.
Well, we've been kind of trying to meet up because of our travel schedule. It's been crazy. So UK Arnold.
And went to FIBO. We just got back
FIBO,
from FIBO. Have you been to FIBO?
In '90s, I was going there every year with a weather, and then I didn't go for many years.
It is. I can't.
Last time, 2013.
I can't describe to you.
I think you saw
how
me
busy
there.
it is there.
Definitely in our hall 10 too. It was bananas. I mean, I didn't get to wander to the other halls. It's unfortunate because I had a lot of people that like, hey, can you stop by? And it's like, it is just really difficult. We did have like I was saying to him, like, we're booked for a lot of things, and I'm pretty comfortable doing certain gigs now because we have the security team, we have the 2 guys that travel with us and they speak German. We had the merch and all that stuff, and we've been in a systematic things with FIBO since 2012 is I think the first year they brought me there as a FIBO guest. So for me, it's like, it's just easy now. Like it's just routine. We got it figured out. We flew into Frankfurt.
Yeah.
It was just easier than we drove over.
Yeah.
Instead of flying, laying over in Europe and then going to Cologne from there, it just makes it a little easier. The trip was lengthy, but I spent a lot of time at the event. We went out and ate every night. I had 6 hours straight every day, and asked him.
No break, no bathroom break, nothing. 6 hours. And
3 days in a row.
those other people, there's a lot of athletes out there, and I know they're going to get pissed at me saying this, that you reach out to them, they won't go to an event, they show up late, they leave early. He stood there for 6 hours.
But listen, Derek was next to me. He was right there, and obviously he did a great job. He was there. He was present. He did take a break to get his food in, and he trained every day. He would spend time at New Tech. One thing that was kind of cool, I thought, is Derek, like, would even on not probably the amount of food that he necessarily needs, he went and trained every single day. He didn't miss.
How about you?
Every day, yeah.
I trained every.
But
I got
while-
off the plane. We went and trained Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night.
And then we got to Frankfurt around midnight.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. So you went to that gym with the old equipment?
I sent you the
Yeah,
videos.
that's-
So
yeah,
you would
crazy, yeah.
absolutely love it.
and we saw the guy that was super shredded at the other gym,
yeah.
and I said I got to send this to Milos because I thought he goes, I'm off season, and I'm like,
off
what?
season. My God.
Yeah, the guy is a freak.
He was one Milos diuretic podcast away.
No,
from
he was.
stepping on
I mean,
stage.
he was not even. He didn't need a diuretic, you know.
But you know what? Now hold on. Now,
It's the next
now
level.
We have a
condition.
special. We have something very special.
we have something
for you.
special for you.
And,
Oh.
and this is a shout out to Mr. Olympia, two division Mr. Olympia, by the way. Derek Lunsford, like we said, he had a special message for you.
Now, should
All
I-
right.
Should I
All right,
play the
Derek.
message for him?
Okay, Derek, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
you need to.
Okay.
You need to see the message, okay?
And then I can put it on.
He made a point to tell my friend Milos.
Okay.
I said hello, and I have a special message for him, and Matt recorded it. Okay.
All right, I got something really special for my man Milos. I know he's gonna love it. I think I got the right size too, right?
That might be a little too big.
Well, I got the sleeves made a little bit bigger for him. He's got good arms.
I want it. Where is it? I'm gonna frame it because obviously I can wear the medium with the small little sleeves. Thanks a lot, Derek.
Just
Okay.
wait. He has a special message for you. The message is coming. So that he's signing the shirt right now for you. Because we told him we were going to come back and see you immediately, so you should probably put the video on.
I will. I'll put it on.
Okay. Signed by the two division.
My friend Milos. Thank you, brother.
This will be given to him on the podcast.
Now, all right. Where is it?
And now,
Where is it? Oh, you forgot it at home, right?
no. And now,
there it is.
here it is.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Here's the shirt.
Okay.
Signed to Milos from Derek Lunsford, Mr. Olympia.
Listen, how do you feel that Mr. Olympia
It's very special.
is recognizing you on a shout out?
I love it. I love Derek, everything about him. Let me turn it this way because for that camera, right? It's kind of small, but okay. I'm gonna fit in. I'm gonna do one of the podcasts. Look at those arms. What is this? This is like for 15-inch pythons. That's my size.
That was cool.
Thank you so
that he
much.
gave
No,
that to
really.
you.
As he said, maybe we don't show him enough love, right? You and I, and probably Matt too. I think what he has already accomplished, two-division Olympia champion, nobody else is, right? And when you think about it, I mean, him and Hadi, there was first and second 2 years in a row, almost reminiscent to you and Ronnie, Phil and Kai. It's a still.
It
Those
could go
two
for a
guys,
while.
He could, yeah. They're the biggest favorites. They're both making improvements. I've seen him, improved already. There is more density. There is more things going on. Yeah. He improved the legs tremendously last year. So I must say that I didn't expect that.
He's looking very impressive.
He's very big.
Very impressive.
I always remind him when I see him that when he won the 212 title, he would always say, "I'm not Mr. Olympia. I just won my division." But what did he do? He moved up in the division because he wanted to be able to call himself Mr. Olympia, and he earned it, and he deserves that respect.
Unbelievable. Even though,
you could see the respect that people were giving him. I mean, he was present. He, was engaging with the fans. He's really taking the title and had it in building the confidence. And we're going to see him unveil what he's been working on
about a month, right?
Not even
Pittsburgh,
3 weeks.
I keep thinking, holy wow,
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
even though there you can't really tell because
what do you think he's going to look like in Pittsburgh?
He's in shape.
I mean, listen, we know Nick Walker is going to be a week out, right?
Yeah.
But
Nick
do you
is gonna
think?
look like
Do
a
you
freak.
think? I know, but do you think Derek's going to compare next to Nick? You think? I mean, I think those two will be like.
I think they'll battle at the Olympia. They'll be compared to each other for sure.
They will for sure. I mean, Nick is a legitimate contender, and he's bringing something different. Derek has a combination of everything: size, shape, thickness, width. V-taper, the wow factor, all that stuff. Hadi surprised all of us. I mean, how can we even say that Hadi surprised us? We didn't think that he can improve, but I think he improved dramatically. I don't know if you've seen the Instagram post today. He was doing the some feathers, like Jay Cutler stomp with the feathers, and he got some new lines on the side shot.
Who does?
Hadi.
Okay.
Yeah, there's more detail to his leg now than normally, so which I recognized. And then, of course, we have Samson and Andrew and a bunch of other guys that can contend. It's going to be.
Andrew needs to qualify.
Yeah.
You know who else is guest posing though? Urs.
Yeah.
He's posing the first classic guy to pose, because Bumstead doesn't pose. He does an appearance.
Yeah.
But Urs, I heard it earlier on
Even
one of the podcasts.
Love to see Chris
Next
standing
to him,
next to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised Chris is going, because isn't his
I don't know.
daughter gonna be born any?
I'm going to tell you this: when he won and Big Ramy won, and then they had a photo shoot day after, right? And you would just think, that's not even close. It's not even comparable. When you look at the pictures, you're going to say, damn, if I'm a judge.
The waist to shoulder,
Yeah.
the illusion's there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Chris, he couldn't. These top guys are
They're pretty big.
Yeah, no.
I mean, unless they changed what the look.
Didn't you say once that he could have won?
Yes.
Okay, so
But
make up your mind.
If they changed what they recognize as a standard.
Yeah.
But how are you going to beat the density of a Hadi or Derek Lunsford at this point? I mean, if Samson, as big as he is having trouble beating those guys, I mean, the taller guys, you know how it is. I mean, put them till they stand next to each other. Like we can go on and on about Hadi and UK and Ohio, but we got to be fair to Derek. I mean, he's going to be improved. I mean, he's still so young.
So no. Here's the question, and we teased Derek with it throughout the weekend. Should he do the Arnold?
Of course,
it's $500,000.
I mean, listen, but is this really a question?
You know what's funny is I did ask him, and he's just like, I got an Olympia, like I have to go to the Olympia. He's only thinking about the Olympia, which is a smart choice. We can't, just because the money's there, like you talk about. Who cares about the money, right? When you're in it like that,
unless it's 500,000, you legitimately.
I know, but he's already won. If he's going in 400 at the Olympia, and then he's got that name of the Mr. Olympia to be able to carry his guest appearances and still be the best.
If he were to pull it off, I mean, he could now that he's younger, and it's probably
I think he can. I think
Jay,
he could win
100%. After you won the Olympia, if you had a 500,000 4 months later.
Well, remember, I was I
did it for 130.
Yeah, I did it for 100.
100.
I did it for
watch.
100. Yeah.
I think the Arnold Classic is going to be a repetition of the Olympia. There's going to be top 10 from the Olympia, just going straight on the Arnold stage.
Well, remember, it's an invitation, so it's.
And they're going to invite top 10. So it's
top
easy
10,
choice.
but then 2 weeks later, you can go pick up another 135.
Yeah,
it's still a lot of money. If you're
in
shape.
I mean, Derek, I'm a huge fan. Of course, when I talk about and analyze, so people guys, you criticize. His legs improved to the point it's like, holy shit. I mean, size is there, shape is beautiful, cuts were there. From the side, he actually was winning the shots from the side, and then from the back, this strider glutes was ridiculous. So if he can really bring that hardness that he needs to match Hadi Chopin's strider chest and intercostal.
He knows he needs to improve in the front shots, And I think, the density's coming. I mean, he's getting the work in.
I think
training,
he's 29 now or 30?
Yeah, I mean, he's
right about
raised
Regan's age. Him, Regan, and Nick are all about the same age.
Do you know how much he weighs now?
I think he said he's 250s. 250s, 260.
He's in great shape.
Yeah, he's big.
So let's talk a little bit about these contests, guys.
Yeah.
So we missed a conversation about the UK, Arnold, and right, and
no, we spoke about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, the Arnold Brazil.
Arnold Brazil. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So going into Arnold Brazil, of course, Rafael was the biggest favorite. I mean, he shocked everybody in Arnold, Ohio, with this new size. He is pretty much perfectly balanced, beautiful shape. Everybody knows Rafa. No weaknesses, but not enough size. And then he brought new size to the Arnold. I guess Tyler Mannion still mentioned that he didn't have enough size for like Samson. So I don't know if this is what they try to do, him and Neil, for Arnold Brazil to come even bigger, fuller. I think it could have backfired. I mean, it was not straight across the board first places from the judges. There was some judges giving to Tonio. A lot of outsiders think that Tonio could have won. I didn't hear a breakdown of Tyler Mannion wasn't judging, so he wasn't there. But Tamer didn't have that breakdown, which I love. After every show, Tyler Mannion breaks down decision making, what went into it. I think still Rafael is just like more complete, better bodybuilder. When I talk about #bodybuilding, I consider everything: size, width, thickness, density, pose by pose. Tonio, we spoke to Tonio on an Old School podcast, and Tonio said that you couldn't see on the stream his real condition. You people, when you're standing next to him and backstage, you could tell, and he says he was really off.
He was, or
the Rafael was really off. Yeah.
So I thought at the Arnold in the U.S. that he was soft from the back. That was my opinion.
I mean, yeah, because you have a certain standard, you have like that elite standard, and you want to match everybody to that, right? So I think he's still very deserving of Rafael's victory. He lost the back shots for sure.
But he probably wouldn't the rest of them.
Yeah,
he doesn't really have a flaw.
He doesn't, yeah.
Just if he gets the conditioning down from front to back.
Yeah.
All right, guys, but at the U.S. Arnold, it was first and second, and I feel it very distant.
That's what I think.
Okay.
That's what I think. But
and that's no disrespect. I'm just being real about it.
At this moment in time, yeah.
Yes.
There was an argument, like Dennis was jumping, and it's like, oh, no. Like Samson was lucky that, they didn't consider Rafael. I say, and then Tyler, when he talked to us, like he put Rafael next to Samson in one of those evening comparisons, just to give him a chance. And it was apparent that Samson was just dominant with so much more thickness and muscle.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that came back to Rafa and Neil. And I think they were just way too full and not conditioned for that show. And not just Tonio. I mean, I see that you have Tonio and Good Vita.
Yeah, it was hard for me to find footage. I found some from a desktop bodybuilding.
Good Vita, Chris's guy, was also super competitive.
What's he lacking, Milos?
Okay, well, I don't know if you can know. First, he was lacking in a collar and an oil, as you can see here. First,
we just got a couple minutes. It's these two, and then it's Raf and Tonio.
Wait. Just to answer, stop there before they start posing. First, he looked like he was rolling in the mud. I asked Chris, like, what kind of tan was he using? He says he used some oil from a garage. He really looked like, he looks like he's dirty. I said he was rolling in the mud.
Back up.
Look
you
at
said
it.
he used oil from what?
From a garage, mechanical, oil that you use to oil up the car engine.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's a joke, right?
That's a joke, of course. But look at him. I mean, this is you're going there to win the show, and then collar was terrible. Now, some people criticize that Tamer brought second and third, first and third, and first and second separately. I think
instead of doing them all three at once.
Yeah. Like, what was the point? Well, I like less people because then you can really judge them. Okay, give them 3 chances basically. So here, let's analyze this pose. Tonio is a little dynamite. I said that he has that Dexter Jackson kind of look and a density and a quality about him. Legs sweeping, separated. I love it. Chris Cormier criticized him, like he says he needs more feathers and more detail. I think they're great. Here, I just think that he posed as a small man. One of those things. He didn't open up and take up the space, and Good Vito is. Now here, that's another thing that I'm sure I shared this with you. Good Vito does that vacuum, and it looks good on him. Okay, I was going back and forth about this. Should vacuum be appreciated and all this? The fact is, with the vacuum, you hide the muscles, right, and you create illusion. So, don't you supposed to create illusion on the stage? Yeah, but it's still illusion. Bottom line is, you want to judge the real body. But here I see Tonio winning, even though this is probably one of the strongest Good Vito's poses.
I see Good Vito as a good Regan comparison. Like them two next to each other would be a pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Okay, stop right there.
Look at that whiff on him.
I mean, yeah. Besides bad color, I think that Good Vito had learned how to pose correctly. This is not a shot that you should do. It's way too high up there, and it just doesn't look that good. He's wide. So, what do you value more, width or thickness? Tonio has this bubbly, round, muscles, and Good Vito is wide, right? So, when I was saying before, shut the lights and see the silhouette, like, how would you compare? Oh, wider should win? Not necessarily. I think that Tonio wins this shot clearly. Yeah. And Good Vito was not as big as I would expect. I was expecting a monster.
He's shorter. I thought he was tall. I didn't know he was shorter.
Yeah.
He's about the same height as.
Yeah. So I do think that Tonio needs to improve the chest to have a fuller chest, but he's still winning this shot. Again, Good Vito is not doing perfect side chest. There is more to it. He didn't open up the rib cage. There's a space between his away arm and the body. He could have improved this dramatically. And he was kind of flattish in this show. Mm-hmm. And that's the second day, actually. He was better second day than the first day.
Yeah, Good Vito was impressive on some of these back, like that hamstring glutes. His cords on his hamstrings are really good, right?
Yeah, if you cover the upper body, look at the, that's phenomenal.
Big hamstrings.
He kind of has legs like you did.
Now, there's so much more meat to Tonio's back. Thickness and
density.
Just density.
It's
everything.
very similar to Dexter's. The arms are, big in the rear double and
very
shoulders.
nice X-frame V taper. I mean, Tonio was spot on, and Good Vito. I didn't expect to have that good back. I kind of thought that we talked. That you said that maybe his back is missing, so he has that width, but it didn't fill up with enough, thickness. So it's not a bad shot for him, but he's clearly losing.
Yeah, I wish we were kind of comparing the three, but
No, it's okay. They're going to be.
Look at how big his legs are.
Yeah, we have time.
Vito.
Yeah, but look at Tonio's just
Density.
shape overall is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is it.
we knew that though. I mean, walking into the show, I mean,
he's a top 10 Olympian.
Yeah,
Got 8th.
he's legit. Yeah.
Yeah. Another shot for
Very
Tonio.
flat stomach, right?
Yeah, very flat stomach. He still needs a little bit here. He
More
needs to
thickness,
tweak around a little bit to bring that upper body V taper. Ab shots is great. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, that stance of Good Vito, it almost looks uncomfortable. It looks like it's there, you know.
He's got the
Me
legs.
just watching these two, it seems pretty clear that Antonio beat him. Yeah. I think right next they bring out Antonio and...
No, it's Vito and...
Vito. Oh, I thought it was Antonio.
And here, I mean, look at the fullness, round muscle bellies.
Yeah, Rafa's shape is just hard to deny, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so pretty to look at. I mean, he just needs time.
Yeah.
He's young too, isn't
improve. Yeah, I mean,
Right around
fairly
30?
young, yeah.
I mean, needless to say,
the
I
leg
think
shape is good. I mean, he's got the TV taper.
Chris is going to hate us if we say it, but I think Rafa still won every shot. Every shot. Now, this is what it is. Okay, when it's perfect body, beautiful body, and it's holding
I would
10 pounds.
I would
extra.
like to see just more detail in this shot, in the legs, hamstrings.
Yeah. Hamstring glutes, you could see that he was off there.
It still needs more thickness, I mean, he still needs to fill those lats out.
He's taller. He's about 6 foot.
He's blessed with a little higher lat, like the wolf type, but at the same time, I mean, it can be a little bit more to fill out, I think, in time.
If you just analyze, every shot is wonderful. If he's drier and more conditioned,
I think they're bringing
plus 15
Antonio out
pounds,
next.
then, yeah.
I mean, he smokes this here. Hard to compare.
Don't you think that good video
I think the lighting. I
almost
think
like
the lighting was just not good on his. Like, I feel like
on his dirt?
no, the lighting I don't think is good. Is good. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just
Yeah, it looks like almost green, like Hulk.
that's the problem with the competition tans. Though sometimes everyone's skin's reactive different, right?
Especially if you use garage oil.
Diesel.
Diesel.
Diesel fuel.
Okay, so Jay, you analyze it. Okay, be honest.
It's just, I mean, Rafa's just too big for Tonio.
But okay, look at legs.
I know, but
Look at legs. Legs are not too big, right? Then look at the V taper. V taper is not superior. I mean, it's very comparable. Arms, bigger. If Antonio lift them up a little bit, open them up a little bit, create more space taking, he could look bigger and be competitive. It's close shot. I would still give it to Rafa. Another close shot. And this is Rafael's pose. You know how he always looks so good in this front lat spread, shoulders, arms, chest, everything there. But if you're really critical,
He doesn't have the hardness. Tonio's looks way harder.
Way harder, yeah.
But obviously, we're just watching
here,
him in person. I don't
can you tell in size there's so much difference between them in this shot?
A little, but not much.
Not much, yeah. So
Who's the camera guy in this?
this could go to Tonio. Now, it's much more thickness through Rafa here. Yeah, so it's more meat, more size, more roundness. Yeah. I would give it to Rafa. Back shots, I think, clearly go to Tonio.
If Rafa fixes his trunks and does more of a custom cut, it would look better.
Well, I don't know why you open up and show the glutes that you don't have. You know what I mean?
I know, but if he had that taper, see how Tonio's is
look
tapered
at here.
at the top?
Yeah, here you can tell the difference.
Makes a difference, dude. I mean, why do you think the women do it,
Yeah.
I had a V at the top of my trunks,
Yeah.
It changes things.
Side triceps was Rafael's. Ab shot, it could go either way,
But he's just way bigger than Tonio, I feel like. I mean, the legs.
Yeah. So for the first time, I mean, he could be winning on a size because he was losing many shows for the sake of lack of size. Yeah. So not every judge see him winning, which means that there's argument.
Yeah.
All right.
So no, this is it's just us talking.
Okay. Yeah. So that was top three. Yeah, I forgot who was fourth, fifth, sixth.
I know they were going at each other afterwards on social media.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, listen, I mean,
Does it make it exciting or?
Yeah.
I mean, but
why not?
they didn't have another showdown. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, if Tony makes it to the Olympia, they'll probably be compared there too.
Do they still do the points thing, or do you have to win a show now? Okay.
You have to win a show.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, they'll be right in that 7 through 10 spot.
Not necessarily. I mean,
I'm assuming. I mean, they might or might not be. Because that's what did Tonio get last year? 8th?
8, yeah.
And Raf didn't compete last year, right?
I didn't.
Yeah. So he probably would have been in that second call, I'm assuming.
I mean, Chris was sending me some pictures of Rafael from 2022 Olympia, and it was like bone dry, super sliced. And so when you compare really, conditioning was not even close. Yeah. But then again, which physique would win? I mean, you know what I mean? So
Depends
if you
on what show.
Yeah.
Olympia.
But if you put them together, right, it's still, when you're 20 pounds heavier, are you going to just go with the dryness as the requirement? Yeah.
Do you think he can get that dryness again?
Probably. Yeah, I just think they were desperate for more size. When I talked to Rafa before, he says, yeah, he would be there, but he's kind of flat on the stage. He didn't feel the muscle, and he maybe thought that they're going way overboard for that conditioning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to plug in myself again. 93, there was one time I did beat Kevin Levroni. And I was like, oh, hell, it's greatest feather, to have. I beat Kevin. And I couldn't wait to see a video. And then when I saw the video, I said, how in the hell did I beat Kevin? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just did not deserve. So like a little bit better conditioning is still, you're judging muscle for muscle and body for body. He was way superior bodybuilder. And so what? He was holding 6, 7, 8 extra pounds. Is this punishable to the point you lose to the lesser physique? Anyway.
So after that, we had the Detroit Pro. While we were in FIBO, so we're watching it from Europe.
Yeah, it was disappointing. There was only 6 guys, number one, which I just can't understand it. I think that Tonio applied to compete too late.
I asked, Bob Chick
Tuesday.
said there's no rule about that.
Hey, there is a rule.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I asked him, he said there's no rule. You can jump in.
You see, okay, so if, let's bring that up. It is, because they contacted and Tyler Mannion told Monday was the deadline.
Oh, okay.
And, so it's like, okay, so maybe a lot of people and athletes don't know that.
It's the Monday of the show?
Yeah, like week out. So there was only 6 guys competing. Why wouldn't you allow somebody?
An exception for that one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I understand
but then there's
from
exception.
a promoter's perspective, if you're a big name and they, if you're putting on a show, they want you to promote the show. And if you show up last minute, you're not promoting it really. So I understand the promoter, why they're protecting the promoters.
That's from promoter side.
6 people.
Look,
come on.
I would have my expenses paid for Night of Champions every year, because he puts me on a poster and all that stuff, right? Yeah. So 97, I was second to Chris. 98, I didn't, sign up for it. And then when I decided, I get Alexandra a little bit early, my daughter. My wife was pregnant, and I didn't supposed to compete. And then I told him, oh, yeah, I can compete. Can you cover my expenses? Nope. You have to pay on your own, right? So 98, I had to pay for my expenses and everything because he didn't use me for a promotion. But in this instance, Fuad contacted Tonio. He would cover his expenses and everything. He wanted him in the show, but it was IBB rule that he could not. Now,
they should have bent that rule.
But you think Dennis suggested, like, okay, so some guys are going to manipulate and going to wait to see who is in it.
They do that anyways.
I said, what difference does it make if I know if Jay's competing or is not competing? If I want to enter it, oh, he's not competing, I'm entering. So that doesn't make sense, right? I think they should be a little bit more lenient and let the guys compete.
In a situation like that, where there's 6 guys in the show, they should have made it different. What do you think, Jay?
I mean, yeah, I think they should have let him compete.
Yeah, I think so.
He's in shape. He's a top 10 Olympian.
I'm not running the organization.
Yeah, I know. But something to think about it. I'm not also saying what is right, what is wrong.
I mean, like Matt says, it's 6 guys. Come on.
Yeah,
I get it if there's 20 guys in the show.
Listen, the talk of FIBO is like there's only 6 guys competing.
Yeah.
Where are all the pros? You know, that's the biggest. I don't know. It seems to be, you know, where all the competitors at this year. You know, it's a topic conversation. Let's not like sugarcoat anything. It's like, you know, you cry about, you know, not being able to get position. It's not like there's hoggers that are going to do every show and, you know, just squat and do it. You know, you have a huge opportunity here. Where is everybody?
Scary thing is how many guys are going to compete in New York?
A bunch. There will be a good amount of big names that don't make the Olympia this year.
Are they going to come to New York?
No, I'm just saying in general, there's not that many shows left
but what I'm saying now, the next show coming
New York.
is New York, and everybody knows Nick is competing.
Doing it. Nick's doing it.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh, Martin Fitzwater said today he's doing it. That's what I saw.
That's good. Great. Yeah. I mean, see
where you stand up. See where you
right
stack
next to the top 3 in the world. Yes, I salute that.
I know, but you know, it devalues the Olympia because there's going to be guys. You know, when you say, well, I'm top 10 in the world, you know, for that, I mean, if guys aren't making it there that are missing the opportunity because they just, you know, circumstance or whatever else, I just feel like, you know, you're not going to have the battles that you want to see. Yep. And that's when you're supposed to see it. You're all supposed to, you know, in our era, we had to qualify. That was our, all objective, yes. Like you had to, or you had a 1-year contract and you weren't possibly renewed. So you had every guy competing. Now, you know, you're not going to have the best bodybuilders in the world come October.
Nope. Yeah. There'll be big names that don't make it because they're all rushing, and there'll be 4 or 5 guys that shouldn't, and only one's going to make it.
I mean, New York's such a prestigious big show.
It is.
And
there's not that many shows left. Like, I mean, overseas there's a certain amount.
Top guys should
in the
be
States,
entering.
I mean, all you really have is California, New York, Tampa,
Chicago,
Texas, and Chicago.
Yeah, but then there's 2 in Spain, 2 in Italy, 1 in France.
But what's going to happen with those, and all due respect to the people doing them, a lot of times that doesn't get the top guys going over there to do them. A lot of the top guys usually don't do the European ones.
I mean, Nathan Diasha did, Regan did.
Yeah.
You know, it's still.
I know that there's those, and then there's the Dubai show, Vancouver.
Toronto, right?
It's quite a bit left. Yeah.
No, but I mean, there's about 10 shows left, and there's only how many guys are qualified?
Yeah,
3 from last year, and Samson and Hadi won the 2 Arnolds. I mean, Hadi won both Arnolds. Nobody qualified there. Yeah. Raphael qualified, and now Martin. Yeah. So only 2 guys have actually qualified this year that weren't automatic from the top 3 the year before. So if there's 12 other shows, what if one guy wins 2 of them? There might be 14 or 15 guys this year.
Yeah. So Martin Fitzwater decided to do the New York. I think that's.
I didn't
take
hear.
My hat off to him.
I saw something on. I was listening to one of the podcasts here, and they said he was doing it, but I don't know if I didn't hear it come from him. But
you should have a confidence to stand right next to the best.
Well, see where you stand up. I mean, see where he stacks up next to him. Yeah. So the next one was Detroit. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to show. This is, and I'm sorry about the footage. It's not.
So Gudvita fixed his collar and oil. And the posing was quite better.
I don't think it gets through all the poses, but this is the best footage I could find.
Okay. Now, Chris was also pissed off because he thinks that was a robbery. That Gudvita was better, more conditioned, and
this shot he wins for sure.
From conditioning standpoint, he was definitely size-wise, width, yes. But then again, Martin is that specific, thick, round, exploding.
I said that when we saw Martin in the Arnold UK last year.
Yeah.
He was. You look at him, you could tell he's
missing.
got all the tools. He doesn't have he's not lacking. It just seems like maturity and just polish.
Nothing missing. Now look at the black background. Thank you, Fuad. I mean, that should be a standard.
That's all we heard all weekend that I saw was how good the lighting was too.
Look what difference does it make.
And you know what? If you noticed it, the black backgrounds here above them, they had all the marketing, but it did not get in the way of the vision of the judges.
What? No side shots?
No, I could not find good footage anywhere.
Okay, I mean. back down biceps, Guido lost again. On the same basis of thickness and.
And if he fills this out,
yeah. Yeah.
That
he's a young guy too, right?
That lower body,
it's crazy.
That's devastating to guys.
Yeah.
Look at the lower body.
It's like looking in the mirror, huh?
No, I mean, dude, cut off. Put your hand over the upper body.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, I see
the
what
tiny
you're
waist.
saying.
His legs look bigger than his waist.
I don't know if anyone besides Big Ramy has that kind of leg size from behind.
No, you know who has a pretty good Nick Walker.
Yeah, he has too.
Yeah.
This look with the hamstring cords like this.
Yeah.
Is that?
So that's a debate. Okay, he opened up just as wide, or maybe even wider than Martin, but Martin has a more muscle. Mm-hmm. Okay, legs. Even though Martin has a good legs, striated glutes, all that stuff, density is there. I mean, he was very good conditioned, but he was not lean enough. He could have go further, getting leaner. And as far as conditioning, they nailed it. I think Stefan prepared him again. It's very good condition, but it was just like not that super lean. And Guido was. Guido was fuller than in Brazil. This pose also look better, but I mean, there's more muscle to Martin.
Yeah.
Martin's just more compact. He's hitting the posing better.
He's posing better too. Yeah.
I mean, Guido's improved the posing from the week before, but you can just look at the pec striations on the outer, the side delt. You have some rear there. It's just more roundness to the delt.
Yeah.
The bicep pops a little more. It's just a comfortable position, in my opinion.
Yeah. Prejudging, Martin was 1 point ahead. And finals, I think every judge gave him a first place. Step right there on the front relax. Yeah. Look at that. I mean, if you freeze there. Well, good Guido.
You don't notice good Vito's kind of a character.
It's character, but listen, you're not comedian, and you don't supposed to let your stomach go and fool around and let right. This picture that is right there is not complimentary.
Yeah.
And judges are saying, "What are you doing?" Okay, you remember when Arnold was fooling with the Lou Ferrigno?
No, this is they're just showing.
Arnold was showing abs and everything was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't find all the comparisons.
No?
It was difficult.
But anyway, so Guido is definitely contender. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to compete now. Chris said that he's going back to Russia. I guess he was gone for a while. Mm-hmm. It's a shame. I mean, it will be great to see him in the New York Pro. Yeah.
He's got a good future. They both do. Martin does too. Yeah. I saw a bunch of people saying it was a robbery, but it didn't look like a robbery.
No. And Tyler was judging. So when you have somebody as competent as him, I can't wait to actually hear analysis. I think it was very close. I would still go with Martin. Yeah. Condition, yes. Chris was saying, it's still shredded condition, dry beef. Yeah. It goes to Guido.
But you know what though? The presentation still, you can have it's what you show. And you can tell Martin's presents his physique much better than Guido. I don't know who's working with him on his posing.
I don't know.
Did you reach out to him?
No.
Online posing coach.
Yeah. Chris Cormier is good, actually.
Is that who he's working with?
No. I would like him to work with Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw Chris over there. I get to witness Nexil in person.
Yeah, he got to see Nexil.
And what do you see? You see the legs, calves, everything?
No. I couldn't stop looking at him. But the upper body, I just couldn't get over the legs, So he was in a T-shirt, but like I said to him, I'd like to see him on stage because, you just can't, you're so overwhelmed by the legs. I think were they training legs when we walked in?
Yeah, him and Breon were.
Yeah.
They were on the leg press.
And Chris is like, what do you think? And I see it in person. I'm just like, wow. It's
really that big?
Victor Richards.
Ridiculous.
Like Victor Richards big.
I don't see that's the kind of thing.
He's not short,
You confess that one time you actually competed. You were paid to just compete. You know, they should pay Nick Zilla to be in New York to compete. Stand next to Nick Walker.
He has to get a visa.
I
think he's from Venezuela.
I said that guy could be an attraction to guest here at a lot of contests.
Yeah, but imagine him and Nick battling. You know, that
he needs to be in. He needs to be in top shape. I'm putting Nick Walker at a different level than a lot of guys right now.
I also think so.
And I think, I think I'll be right come, May 18th, because Nick's, he's just different, man. Like, he's just got a package. He doesn't really, his structure has been criticized so much, but man, his poses are just so strong. And I believe that he doesn't lose himself in the transitions either, because that's always the biggest fear, especially with a guy that, they talk about his midsection, but, I think he's been working on even presentation in that sense. And I just feel like if you really, it's hard to pick him apart in poses.
Yeah. Look, at the Arnold Classic, they were criticizing his front double biceps, like there was no balance, upper body, lower body. Like he was more dominant, he was top heavy, right? And then because of that injury, now there is a fear maybe his legs are going to be even more down.
He's got the Nasser syndrome, right? Yeah. I mean, he's got the longer torso with the
but Nasser had the big legs, Nasser had the huge legs.
And Nick's realized it, and we'll see what improvements he makes.
I think that improvements through chest that he made are so visible. He's a much bigger guy now. I mean, most muscular look ridiculous. Side chest was always... You're the one that pointed out. I didn't really realize how good side chest...
His side chest, he's just, his legs from the side are just everything. The arms, the pecs, the shoulders, the legs, everything. He is not missing anything. He has one of the best up there.
Most muscular is good. Side poses, and back shots. And even though I don't even know how he hits those back shots so good, because I don't think he has a crazy back. When you look at back, for a back, it's not like, that's wide, thick, so much muscle. But then when he hits the shot, it looks crazy.
I don't know if you weren't looking at 24-inch arms and a back double bicep with the biggest bicep peaks and a rear double bicep of anyone in the lineup. I think you might think the back. The peaks on his biceps. It's ridiculous,
But I'm going to tell you another guy. Back double biceps was phenomenal, and he actually didn't have a impressive back. Flex Lewis. When I look at him, there is not that, whoa, look at his back. How some guys are just walking and there is hanging like Boeing 747, right? But once Flex hits the back double biceps, like, holy shit, where is this coming from?
Yeah, but he was into 212.
Yeah, but that's just when you look at him, it's very hard to beat him in that pose.
I know, but put him next to like the other guys, the
he was
open guys,
He was beating Hadi in the back double biceps. That's the only pose that I think he beat him in Korea, back in the day.
And that's when Hadi was 212.
Yeah.
Well, Flex's back double was crazy.
What is Hadi really now? Because when you look at Vancouver and when you look at Korea, and now you compare him with these new pictures, right? They're super comparable. Holy shit!
I would guess he's in the low 230s.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I said 232.
You see how hard he's already training again?
Yeah, because he loves it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can. We talk about this. We talked about this over the weekend. Me and Phil, while we were eating one night, and Hadi's that guy that if he could compete, and there was no money involved, no nothing, he would still do it. He would still train like that every day, and not a lot of guys would do that.
100%.
But he's one of the few that I guarantee you when he's done, just like Jay still trains every day, I guarantee you 20 years from now, Hadi's going to be in the gym every single day.
Yeah.
Because you can tell the people who just have that, Nick Walker's the same way, have that burning desire. It's all about the stage, not
money is bonus.
I love to train, man,
Money is a bonus, right? When you started when you were 19, right? You didn't think 18. You didn't think I'm going to make a shitload of money here. Right?
No. I didn't. I didn't think I'd be great at bodybuilding. No, I had this mindset, like obviously I did well as a teenager, but once I got on stage, I was like, man, I can do this. I wasn't as confident the day I started training. I'm like, I'm going to be the best in the world. It took me a minute to get on stage and actually have some accolades to be able to say I could be great. But I didn't know I could ever win until I stood next to Ronnie for the first time, the Mr. Olympia. So, I mean,
first time you did was '99.
yeah, but I got smoked. But 2000 when I went on that tour, and I got to be able to stand next to him because there just wasn't any real heavy talent in between us. Big gap between first and 8th place at the Olympia. But I actually could say, okay, I'm not getting absolutely consumed to death. And I realized with, a year of training, I'm still super young. He's 10 years older. I mean, I said, well, you know what? I can compare to this guy. And, I just went guns a-blazing for 2001. And, I felt like, the more experience you get on stage, the more confidence you have, right? And I think we're seeing that with a lot of the champions. I mean, how do you see it? You see it with Derek, Nick Walker, Samson. Samson probably never thought he'd be that great, And
Maybe
now look at the opportunity that he faces. I mean, the biggest question marks as we lead into this is, we have a huge pose down in Pittsburgh. And listen, I tell you, for experience, I always looked forward to that because it was kind of like the final take before we started that all-on prep. Especially being May. I mean, I always started the prep in June. The Olympia was a little earlier. I mean, most of the time, September. But you had that kind of that judgment. And, we did have the top guys there. And I didn't give a shit about anyone but Coleman. So when I was able to compare with him, and then again, we went to Steve's show in June. We would go to New York in June 8th weekend usually. We get to stand next to each other again, and we were already like, okay, next week I'm turning it up, and you're going on to full cycle to get bigger and lean down for the shows. And that was the unique thing about us is, we were like off-season drug. It didn't take drugs in the off-season, so as soon as we started prepping and starting to take substance again, we got bigger, and then we get
fast.
Leaner. Yeah, we got bigger fast, and at the same time get leaner. So it's kind of that like, can you get bigger and bulking versus you don't have to put on body fat to get bigger. And that's the one thing you will have this as your kind of your ace is like train for a show because you're more on point and you're getting the meals and everything is more efficient, the body, the metabolism. Where I think when the off season, we get a little comfortable, right? And especially as the off season goes a little longer, it's harder for us to get in a good rhythm unless you're just really on top, right?
Yeah. But
I still trained off season.
You know what he's saying there that most of the guys don't realize nowadays. Back then, the guys would come off the drugs for a long time. Yeah. The guys nowadays, like, no way. They don't.
And listen, I off the drugs, off, nothing, nothing.
Triple F. Yeah.
But you still trained every day. You still ate clean. That's why you didn't get fat.
And you know what? And I honestly ate as much. Yeah. I trained as hard. I didn't say, well, I'm going to go a little easier because I'm off,
I had a training partner.
And you could see it in my physique. I mean, you could see
a little softer, but it wasn't. You didn't.
Yeah, you look softer. The
definitely.
golden rule was for me and I trained with Nasser also in 95 when we were off. You have to train harder when you are off because when you're on, it's easier. You are under the influence, enhanced. So when you're off, which still people don't believe. When you say a PCT was not with the bridge.
No, but remember, we still, us being off for 3 months, you're still going to have, our cycles were heavy enough where we would still have the efficiency probably spill over, right?
For a while.
You know what I mean?
Some top guys, I don't need to mention them, they were 6 months on, 6 months off. I would be, I said that before, 10 on, 5 off, 12 on, 6 off. Golden rule, like 16 on, 8 off.
When we started, it was like when I started, it was like 12 weeks on, 12 weeks off, 12 weeks on, 12 weeks. That's how I was kind of taught.
But because they threw in like 13 shows a year, that I had to do a little bit more often.
Once you started doing more shows, you had to.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is when I started, using.
So, Pittsburgh, pulls down. Big Ramy is coming. What do you expect from him?
Very, very good question.
Yeah.
Well, I'll find out in 3 weeks.
I mean,
do we expect him? I feel like Ramy's kind of, his back's against the wall a little bit because people already kind of, it just goes to show what have you done for me lately. People don't talk about it anymore. And, you win, you lose the Olympia, make an attempt to win it back, and you get really pushed back, and it's like, okay, where'd he go? Why didn't he keep fighting for it? So it's like he's kind of like, it's very hard for him to win it again. There's too many guys that have moved up now, and what has he been doing? Like, where's the social media? What? I don't see him. I didn't see him. He wasn't at FIBO, right? We didn't see him there. So
Patrick Curtis, his coach, he was.
Is he?
Yeah.
How do you know?
And
I think they posted something about
yeah.
He did. I mean, he was arguing that he wasn't on some podcast.
On our podcast. No, he didn't want to admit it that he was, but then the word went around, and he was so complimentary over him that you could put two and two together. Oh, come on. But listen, you were encouraging Big Ramy to come back and do Jay Cutler thing. Win a title back. I mean, if anybody can do it, he has that size. Now, is that damage to the triceps and the lats?
That's a question,
really? Oh,
maybe the time off helped him.
Yeah, maybe.
What do you think about some of these new coaches coming up? What do you think about Stefan?
Stefan is unbelievable. I mean, he's
Patrick now. I mean, you got. I mean, Keon uses them. Who else?
Many people use Patrick.
Ian was with him.
I had. You'll probably see that debate.
Who does Samson go with?
I don't know.
Who do you
I still didn't talk to Samson, so that means I don't know. Stefan would be a great choice. Stefan is right there, right close, Europe.
Where does he live?
Stefan? Mm-hmm. I want to now say Austria, but then maybe I'm off. For some reason I think it's Austria. Yeah.
I got to train with Urs when I was there.
Yeah.
See us posing.
Yeah. He's still out angling. You letting him do it?
I let everyone. Where else did I let everyone out angle me?
With you and Nexzilla.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah. I pulled back on that, so everyone's like, "Oh my gosh!" With Tim, Tim was in there too, also, and I remember taking the picture, and I mean, people were like, "Dude, you gonna really post that?" And it's like, "Yeah, of course. It's their time, not mine."
You don't care, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, and obviously you can tell it was an angle situation, but even if they were standing next to each other, it wouldn't have mattered.
I keep forgetting even to suck in my stomach in a few of those UFC, meet and greet, like.
Why, do you have a belly now, or?
Let's put it this way. I have to think about it, So I had perfect picture. Yeah, great. And then I look at the stomach. I go, damn. I look like
What's
Manager
the next
Matt.
UFC fight you're going to?
This week is off, and then following weekend, Apex. Yeah. Then it's going to be 302 Poirier against Islam.
Are you going to go?
Of course.
It's in New Jersey.
Yeah. June 1st?
Yeah.
You going, or?
I thought about it.
Poirier, man.
Yeah. I didn't go to Dustin's last fight.
Yeah. And he has legitimate chance, right?
He has a legitimate chance anytime he's in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of those guys that you just never know.
Yeah. The UFC is taking over. I'm telling you, that 300 was over the top. Delivered and over-delivered. It was just like one of those you're going to remember to the rest of your life.
So the fight after...
Yeah, I mean, two Chinese ladies. I mean, listen.
Did people, just...
It was a great fight. It went 5 rounds. Zhang Weili, got some resistance through a Chinese lady, Yan. Yeah. But it was still, I mean.
What happened with the guy walking out and the fan jumped?
Yeah.
What happened?
Armin Sorokin, a guy flipped him and he just, I guess, responded.
He punched him? Or?
Yeah.
Really?
He said, fans said that, I guess, Armin missed, thank God. But, you are drunk and, whatever, and then you're flipping somebody. Yeah. Dana thought that this guy is going to sue them. He says, I'm not going to sue, but maybe you can get me tickets for the, McGregor fight.
That's not a bad avoidable lawsuit.
Yeah.
Say, can you sign this saying you won't sue us?
What's your early prediction for the Conor McGregor thing, this big announcement?
If he's coming back, okay, listen. Everybody thinks that Conor cannot be old Conor. Obviously, he's going to be 170, so he's not going to have to lose much weight. His different body, this time more power to him. And he is already training. He's still Conor, right?
Yeah.
He's still Conor. And if he wins, oh my God.
Was he present at this
then
fight?
Imagine, no. Imagine next fight.
Yeah.
Interesting thing that you probably don't know, at Detroit show, they had a most muscular award, best poser award, and John Meadows Most Condition Award. Did you say?
Yeah, who won what?
Most Condition was Ron.
He got third.
He got third, yeah.
Chris Lewis, I think, trains him.
Really? Yeah,
Chris Lewis does his
I trained him a couple of times.
And I think Abdullah does his.
Yeah, Abdullah, his coach. He was very conditioned. Most muscular. So how do you win most muscular? Back in our time, if you won muscularity round. So most muscular was Good Vito. So that means that probably from muscularity aspect, he won the show, but a shape went to Martin. And then Martin got the best poser award. So, I mean, kudos to Fuad to put that kind of show. I hope the next year is going to be prepared in advance. And look, somehow IBB should encourage guys, force them kind of.
It should not, and I'm going to say this, it should not be on FIBO weekend because there's a lot of guys that are, their sponsors make them go.
Okay, so Dennis said on the podcast that he would have 3 shows mandatory per year for every IBB pro to, maintain the IBB pro card. Yeah,
that's not
this is not going to happen, but you should at least do one, right? And all these shows, it should never be less than like 15 guys competing.
When you're giving out too many pro cards.
So many pro cards and not many guys.
How are you going to have all these guys competing if you're giving out that many cards?
It should be easier, no? Right? If you give so many pro cards, there's more guys that can enter. So it should be easier.
Okay, you get a mandatory make guys compete when you have that many. If shows will have.
Well, if you don't compete, you take that pro card away.
Yeah, but if a guy takes a year off, that means his career's over.
Yeah. Okay, 2 years. Yeah.
No, I mean the way it is now, if you don't pay for your membership, you can't compete that year.
Yeah.
Then the next year you got to pay it whenever if you take a year off. That's hard because what happens if you go do one show and you win? Should you be
some
forced
guys
to do another?
like Rafael Brandao took more than a year off and came back better.
And
yeah.
Usually when guys take a break, they make improvements. That's the whole point of taking a break.
Yeah.
But this year there's going to be some. We saw William Bonnick. He's in pretty good shape right now.
Big dude.
He's big. Yeah. I mean, he's going to come back this year.
Big and round.
He hasn't announced
Andrew
his
Jack
shows
wasn't
yet.
there?
I didn't see him.
I didn't see Andrew Jack.
I've seen you with the Marcus Rule. Damn, he's still so big, right?
He's still a big dude. He's probably 300 pounds still.
Yeah,
Close to
like,
it.
come over. And, originally we were supposed to do a seminar on the Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, hers, and he. And, we talked. I mean, his brand's doing really well there. And,
Yeah.
and he's still, we talked a lot about the old times. And, and he was, arguably one of the bigger bodybuilders ever, right?
I actually love seeing that a guy that if he showed up to a lot of shows in America, nobody would know who he is.
He's
You go to
superstar in
Europe,
Germany.
you go to Germany, and his line is as long as Jay's, as long as anyone ever, and it's just not. It's young, it's old, it's men, it's women. It's the line is 100 meters long, and he was there pretty much all day, every day. So it's just cool seeing like he has that type of success because we all know there's guys that retire and they just disappear, and he's still around.
How about Dennis Wolf? He was there?
Yeah, he came over. Yeah, he was actually meet and greet next to us, and
I think he'll be home in about 3 weeks.
He
said he had to
he
go
was
to.
staying
So
up
who is
there.
best German bodybuilder of all time?
That's a great question. Urs right now is the most popular.
Yeah, that's probably.
I mean, Dennis probably has. I mean, he won an Arnold and an Arnold Europe, right?
Yeah. By the results, yeah, for sure.
And the results, it would be him, yeah.
Gunter would probably say he is.
Because he technically
No,
he beat
hold on.
Ronnie.
Gunter was. No,
Gunter didn't place. What is he placed 6th 2022 Olympia. What was 2003?
Then he beat Ronnie at the GNC.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was from Germany. I thought he was from Switzerland for some reason.
Yeah, German.
What did you think about the guy that brought his shirt with you on it?
Did you see that?
My
I
shirt?
tagged you on it.
Yeah, no, wish.
No. A guy had a picture of you on his shirt. Yeah.
he knows,
That's a great shirt.
Yeah. We saw even funnier shirt though. A guy had a picture of Jay and Ronnie's back, and he cropped it out and put it on a shirt. Jay riding Ronnie's piggybacking. No, it was. You know what though? Like going to that show.
How heavy was Ronnie at that time? 330.
Well, I went on his back.
He jumped on his back.
Yeah.
That show. So
really? I thought it was the other way around.
We were in Hall 10, and at one point, I took someone. I took someone to go meet Urs, and it took me a half hour to walk out, down the hall, through 2-2 to 3-2, and then when we got there, the fire marshal shut it down. So it was like a herd of cattle going up and down inside one of the, and they had thousands of people, and they'd let 100 people in at a time, and then they'd radio as soon as a group went out, and that whole hall was the ESN hall, and that's where Urs. It took me an hour and a half to get them back to Urs.
Mr. Popular.
It was
He's
so
such a lovable guy.
He's the happy. You know,
he was texting me this morning. What are you training today? What's going on? You know.
Yeah, he said he's going to come over here at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him on here, and we got to get him in there and do a giant set with you.
I guess his podcast was super popular here, right?
Oh yeah.
I thought we did the podcast.
Yeah, he was. We were the first one he ever did a podcast with. He told us that. Oh, I'd love to get him back on because at that point he was just starting to come up, and now that was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's
I saw him winning his first show.
Really?
Yeah.
Which show was that?
Chicago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, or Tampa. I don't know. The first one that he won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was just like happy-go-lucky kid, like all excited about the whole thing. So you have a structure, damn. Yeah. So what is he doing?
I think he's
shutting off. I
think he said he's shutting it down just for the Olympia.
Olympia. Yeah.
Yeah, just
around the corner.
Yeah.
Think when would guys prep start? June, July, August, September.
For him, I mean, he's always ripped. He was ripped out.
No, he's ripped right now. He's got shredded glutes right now.
Yeah.
Jay, he posed for Jay.
He was very like, okay, let's take the clothes off and see what I look like.
Mm.
Didn't. It was his
When
idea.
we saw him posing in Dragon's Lair, that was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Remember?
No, Fit Club. Yeah.
No, Dragon's Lair.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I took one video I took. He was in Fit Club, and he was stupid.
Yeah, he was stupid over there. I mean, those glutes with the ropes coming into each other. Wow.
Can anyone beat Chris?
I don't think so.
Chris is training hard right now.
Yeah.
See all the videos, and Chris is serious right now.
Yeah. He has a serious competition.
Hey, man. The guys are coming up.
Yeah.
It just seems like he just wants to put his foot on the throats of everyone and say, I'm still here.
When you look at this progression, right, 2017, I have on my Instagram, guarantee, but I can't go down to 2017. I don't know. Can you somehow scroll down all the way to the front?
That would take you.
It is forever. I have like
probably
10,000.
6 months.
The problem is your
But
connection,
I did say, listen, I saw him winning 2017. Mm-hmm. Yeah. CBUM, even then. And then I didn't see him winning 2019 for the reason I mentioned a million times. But then when you look at the progression, I thought that he looked considerably better 2022 than 2023. Mm-hmm. But then when you see the pictures and comparisons, like, maybe I'm wrong. What do you think?
I think, was it this last year? I think 2 years ago he looked better than this last
That's
year.
what I thought. Yeah. That's what I thought, but
I don't really pay as much attention as I probably should.
But either way, he still won, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, when I watched a little bit of the night show, and I mean, he handily. I thought he just outclassed people with posing.
Yeah, he's got the confidence too.
Yeah, he's just got the shots.
All right, Mr. Olympia. Thank you so much.
We can screenshot that and post it.
Yeah.
I'll put that video on here, and we'll play the.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys following along. Tell us what your opinion on these shows. If you agree with the assessment or not, we'll be back for another episode. Milos, thanks for coming.
And also,
on.
I want you to comment on the bottom. Can Milos fit into that shirt?
Yeah, let us know your thoughts, guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Make sure you guys share the video, and we'll see you at the next episode of Cutler Cast. Appreciate it.
We're out.